What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another mic. We're here with the Stay at Home open mic. We are based out of El Paso, Texas, the U.S. Southwest. But of course, since we are online, we're going to be able to connect with people from all over the country and all over the world. My name is Richie Marrufo. I am the project director and MC of BWOMS. Of course, every now and then I get some lovely help from lovely people. This Monday show, we're happy to be back for. Are we already at 200 plus episodes? I forget already. But we've been doing this for 2 years straight and still going strong. Happy to have a full community of poets. And of course, even every week, we're still getting new performers tuning in. It's a nice mix. So we're happy to have you guys here. As always, this is a platform to support all these performers. So if you're hearing them for the first time, go follow them on social media, check out their posts, and if you have an opportunity, purchase their books, their content, and even if you don't have money to spend on that, the easiest thing you can do is follow them and then share their work, because lots of talented people with all sorts of strong messages worth sharing. These are like the testing grounds, so we encourage people to bring new content, dust off old content, or just try something experimental. Each performer gets 5 to 7 minutes to do their thing, and of course, it's a pretty good looking list tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I do see that we're on YouTube Live. Shout out Dan the Man's already there on our live stream. Okay. Having trouble logging in. All right, we'll be here, man. We'll be here. We're not going to take off without you. But without further ado, we're going to go kick things off. And as always, or as we often do, we're going to kick things off in New York City and visit our friend Deadpan Lizzie, who's Deadpan Dope. Yo, Lizzie, what's up?
Hey Richie, Beanie Blessings. Good to see you.
Yeah.
You guys, if you want to learn more about me, my publications, what I do here in New York City, ES_Strauss on IG, where my website is. I read a couple repetition poems I wrote recently. The first one is called Layers. The music that bleeds through my eardrums, down my throat, into my stomach and out my pores, feels toxic like solutions we feed into our seas. The grass and soils that hold us upright, or tries to, as it anxiously lives alongside us. I am disco, so the anti-punk rock. My body moves better with the boogie oogie oogie, rather than sedated by the energies that feel lost. They continue to burn our zones, layers decaying like the music that bleeds through my eardrums, down my throat, into my stomach and out my pores, sometimes confidently unsure what we feed into our seas. My DNA is not built for poisonous dosages, what some fuel themselves with daily, the music that bleeds through my eardrums, down my throat, into my stomach and out my pores, the lyrical healthful solutions we feed into our seeds. This last feeling that I can't talk, my last poem is also a repetition poem. It's called Flowing Fears. I flow from two beaches, one that holds salt in the Long Island Sound, given he is too scared to let the wounds feel pain. The other, the clear waters of Miami, who allows the cuts to burn, but she does not know otherwise. I'm a variety of oceans, but these two bodies are where I learn to splash around in, where I receive my luck, the kind I am unaware of. The little boy inside me knows these beaches cannot harbor me, because they fear me like I fear myself, who is as shy as the one who wants to get close to me. I flow from two beaches, ones that hold salt in the Long Island Sound, the Hudson River in East too, who wants to grow in the bay, but is too scared to just yet. Thank you.
All righty then. Awesome, awesome. Lizzie, good to see you again. Hope is all is well. I know you got lots of great things going your way. So really quick for the first timers, how can people follow you online and support all the work you have going on? Because I know you always have lots going on.
Oh yeah, I got more to come. Thank you. It's good to see you too. IGES_Strauss. I got a few things coming up the next few weeks for poetry. I'll be featuring and doing some book signings with Fred Green Books at the New York City Poetry Festival on Governor's Island. So come the 10th and 11th, if you are in the tri-state area. I'll also be at the New York Poets Cafe at Hybrid, doing that as well. And a couple more coming up throughout the year. I have two more books coming out this year. One is called Inner Visions, a book of proses, and the other I'm not going to announce the title yet. And then more to come in 2023. So if you just, and then I host a Mike Deadpan Dope every first and third Tuesday of the month. The word is right, 9 p.m. Eastern time. It is open to all mediums of art. The only rule is you just can't be an asshole. So,
That's a great rule.
that's the only
Very
rule.
good
Just don't be an
rule.
asshole.
Very good.
So like I said, all that info, ES_Strauss on IG. Thank you so much.
All right. No, thank you. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's like the golden rule, right? We would love to keep that one going. Yes, Deadpan Dope. Check it out. And of course, all our great stuff. Yes, Strauss. And I'll also share that on YouTube. Again, shout out to everyone who is watching. Show some love. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Even if you're not watching live, just leave a comment. Hey, what's up? I'm tuning in from Chicago, or I'm tuning in from Hawaii. I don't know. And yeah, we're great to have you tuning in today. We're going to go ahead and go from NYC to Denver. That's right. We're switching time zones just like that. And of course, we got another regular who always comes through. In fact, I say this often in the cheesiest, best way possible. He is our own lighthouse as much as he promotes the Lighthouse Writers. Let's go ahead and welcome Mike Sindler. What's up, man?
Okay, I'll take the cheese. Cheese is good side dish. Yeah, I think it is great, Liz, that you're going to be there for the New York Festival and all the other artists, the Red and Green, and all the other people who are going to be there. That's going to be a fantastic thing. I wish I could. I wish I could just get to New York. I love New York so much. But I am going to write up, just say anybody who cares anything about writing and the craft of writing, you could do a lot worse for yourself than just check out lighthousewriters.org. So many great classes and workshops and free events and things like that. Just give it a click. And I'm actually going to promote myself for a change. A month from today, on the 29th, I'll be hosting, facilitating, more to the point, poetry games thing for Fincabulary. It's, I think, at noon or something like that my time. So whenever, I guess that's like 2:00 Eastern or whatever. So that being said, I thought I would go ahead today and take a break from looking at myself and actually pull up some stuff. This one, I did a poem about cats last week, so I thought I would do a poem about my actual favorite animal this week. It's called Neither Prey Nor Predator. The manatee floats, it does not race. It swims up clear rivers to find cool comfort. It does not build or block or threaten. It feeds on filaments of green and hovers, bobbing at the surface, drinking in warm sunshine, neither prey nor predator. Its gentle existence troubled only by the planet's greatest foe. Its waters polluted, temperature raised beyond comfortable range by human intervention. Worse intrusion yet, whirring metal ripping and killing gentle beasts felled by propellers. Hurried journey to nowhere, taking no prisoners, no place left for the mild in what was once wild. And this next one is one that I have read here before, but it has been a couple years, I think. So I think I can be allowed to reread one this old. Sure, why not? And I think everyone should remember that you don't always have to be reading new stuff, that everybody is always glad to hear these great poets' older work and things that they've done before. This particular piece is inspired by a painting called Wind River, Wyoming by Alfred Bierstadt that's in the Museum of Western Art here in Denver. And the poem is called Glow of Guilt. Sun gilds underside of vaporous forms, tinting earth and arching sky as well. on fluffed cap above and in cracks and folds of crepuscular shadows. Violet thickens to enfold day's end. Moisture over arid plain, floats like kelp off Pacific shore, hangs limp, dragging the last hour of twilight towards the west, as nocturnal beasts awaken and flocks of birds return to nest. In woodland copses on valley's floor, branches, logs, and twigs for tinder are scrounged for campsites to roar in Protestant fire through the blue-black star-freckled night. And you can't really see, but there is somewhere right in the foreground of that little tiny campfire. And again, I am going to do a repeat, and I am going to have the hat on, but despite the hat, I am going to once again share screen, so it doesn't matter what I'm wearing, does it? And this one is I just think this is such a great poem. It's by Fatima Ashgar, and it's called Pluto Shits on the Universe. On February 7th, 1979, Pluto crossed over Neptune's orbit and became the 8th planet from the sun for 20 years. A study in 1988 determined that Pluto's path of orbit could never be accurately predicted. Labeled as chaotic, Pluto was later discredited from planetary status in 2006. And we all know who one of those people who did that was, but we won't go into that. So here goes. Today, I broke your solar system. Oops, my bad. Your graph said I was supposed to make a nice little loop around the sun. Nah, I chaos like a motherfucker. Ain't no one can chart me. All the other planets, they think I'm annoying. They think I'm an escape moon running free. Fuck your moon. Fuck your solar system. Fuck your time. Your year ain't shit but a day to me. I could spend your whole year turning the wines in my bed, thinking about rings and how Jupiter should just pussy up and marry me by now. Your day, that's an asswipe, a sniffle. Your whole day is barely the start of my sunset. My name means hell, bitch. I am hell, bitch. All the cold you have yet to feel. Chaos like a motherfucker. And you tried to order me? Called me ninth? Somewhere in the mess of graphs and math and compass, you tried to make me follow rules? Rules? Fuck your rules. Neptune, that bitch slow. And I deserve all the sun I can get and all the blue gold sky I want around me. It's February 7th, 1979, and my skin is more copper than any sky will ever be. More metal. Neptune is bitch sobbing in my rear view, and I got my running shoes on, and all this sky that's all mine. Fuck your order. Fuck your time. I realign the cosmos. I chaosed all the hell you have yet to feel. Now, all your kids in the classrooms, they confused. All their clocks wrong. They don't even know what the fuck to do. They got to memorize new songs and shit. And all the other planets, I fucked their orbits. I shook the sky. Chaos like a motherfucker. It is February 7th, 1979. The sky is blue gold, the freedom of possibility. Today, I broke your solar system. Oops, my bad. And I would just like to say that I want to write a poem like that when I grow up. So thank y'all very much.
Yo, Mike, that was excellent. I love that so much. Again, your reading performance. Yeah. Oh, what a piece. And of course, your other ones were great too. That's awesome. So again, check out Lighthouse Writers, and we can celebrate Mike Sindler. I love that you changed things up a little bit, and you kind of went to older pieces that you've revisited pieces. So that was a nice mix of it all. Anyway, thank you, Mike Sindler, everyone in Denver. Go check him out. And of course, I'll try and share that link to Lighthouse Writers. Shout out to Sandy online. And if there are any EPCC students, check out the description in the video for directions for that Tejano program code that you need. Anyway, let's go and keep going, guys. Once again, welcome to our online open mic every Monday, our stay-at-home open mic. Well, we're performing from the comfort of our homes or places where we're comfortable. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and move on to go back to the East Coast, our main man from Maine. But in his sign up, he did write location, El Paso, Texas, one day. So we could all hope, right? And performing the symbols again. I love reading what he uses to sign up. And lastly, it's good to know. And if you don't know, the cockroach babies call him Uncle Brian. Let's go ahead and welcome Generalissimo Brian Franco to the stage. What's going on, Brian?
Shalom, everyone. Yes, unfortunately I swallowed the symbols, so I can't play them for you today. Yeah, they were delicious. They were covered in chocolate. Let's see what we have for you. I'm gonna do 3 poems that recently were accepted into the microdose anthology for Alien Buddha Press. They're all under 21 words. The first is called Respiration. Maybe if I just let myself breathe instead of holding my breath for no reason at all, I could breathe easily. The next one's called Whizzle Sniff. When drinking coffee on top of partaking in maybe I should leave the word in off, but when drinking coffee on top of partaking doctor-prescribed diuretics, one should try to be careful when choosing vegetables. And finally, this is offensive to some people, but it is totally figurative. Why some people hoard latex gloves. Sometimes you have to fist yourself to pull the right words out of your butt to say what's on your mind. This was in Ray Jane's open mic. She had a little workshop exercise, and it's called Do I Need to Apply Direct Pressure to My Vanity? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Oh, Disney, please don't sue me for copyright infringement. Sometimes I find myself in a trance when I look in a mirror because I start searching for answers that don't exist in my eyes beyond my reflection. Why do Orthodox Jews cover mirrors whilst mourning? Certain cultures believe mirrors can capture your soul. People who look in mirrors for too long are considered vain and narcissistic rather than contemplative. But a mirror is just a mirror. I will never discover answers or find a piece of my soul that took an impromptu road trip without my permission. For me, a mirror is a necessity for brushing my teeth, washing my face, and shaving. If it should break, I'm worried less about 7 years of you-know-what rather than cutting myself because I am a bleeder. And this is from Robin's workshop. It's tentatively titled, You Don't Need Reservations on New Jersey Street. Miss Mary Stewart Stevens had me peel potatoes and carrots and snap the stems off the ends of green beans. I didn't mind working for my dinner when she invited me. Her great-grandson, Arthur, who was around 12, was always there. His mother worked a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift for a dry cleaner. There was a drum kit in the middle of Miss Mary Stewart's living room. Arthur sometimes was the drummer for the band of the church choir. Miss Mary Stewart sang in the senior choir that only performed on fifth Sundays. She invited me to the homecoming supper at the St. Peter Baptist Church on New Jersey Street. When I arrived at the church, no one was there. I thought it was the wrong day. I saw the kitchen light, a beacon to an amazing afternoon and a meal I'll never forget. I walked in the kitchen, and the other ladies tried to shoo me away because no men are allowed was a steadfast rule. Miss Mary Stewart said to them, "This is my little Jewish friend. He's loud. He don't mind doing hard work." They laughed, waved me in, and hugged me hello and pointed to some sweet potatoes that needed peeling. I was in that kitchen helping for well over an hour. I heard gossip about people whom I didn't know. What a privilege to be allowed into their kitchen against their better judgment, to be given a succession of bear hugs from strangers that treated me as if I were family. How me and Miss Mary Stuart Stevens met is another story unto itself. Some people say we were unlikely friends, but we both loved blues and were fans of Coco Taylor, Clarence Carter, Bobby Rush, and Denise LaSalle. Somehow we bonded from the first second we met, and now she has gone to a better place and will always have a place of love and respect in my heart. And since Michael did a ekphrastic poem, I couldn't pull up the painting, but I'm going to do an ekphrastic poem called Why the Caged Therapy Patient Paints. I don't think Rene Magritte knew Maya Angelou from Adam or even Eve. She was only 9 when he painted The Therapist in 1937. The painting depicted the top half of a sitting man's body as a bird cage, partially covered with a blanket with 2 doves inside. Maybe he time traveled and landed in 1969 Harlem, wandered into a bookstore and heard a Black American woman's learned voice reading the book she wrote, speaking a truth in a way he had never heard a woman speak before. When he returned to 1937, he destroyed the time machine. He sat contemplating the future for at least an hour or two and realized women had minds of their own that were being wasted by being treated as second-class citizens and married off. He realized his society caged women in, and in doing so, caged men in by happenstance. He felt caged in himself. Without realizing it, he had been to a psychotherapy session, and Maya Angelou was his therapist. Thank you. And my next Cafe Generalissimo will be on the 5th, Monday the 5th, and then on Wednesday the 7th, I have a 10-minute feature for Great Weather for Media. And then, of course, I will be at the New York Poetry Festival on both the 10th and the 11th. The 10th for Red or Green Books. On the 11th, I'll be reading for Choose Blue World, which is Kim Lynn Tan-Bappy's organization. And so everything is in the chat, and even how to buy my book is in the chat. So thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. And of course, thank you, Robin, for giving us Kit.
It's a beautiful send off. There you go. Yes. Brian, thank you. Always good seeing you, man, and hearing your work. Was that Alien Buddha Press? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, that is correct.
That's interesting. Okay, cool. So check out Cafe Generalissimo every other Monday, and yeah, if you're free during that time, we'll share any links that he shared here. And yeah, the poetry festival, that's so exciting. I'm not even going, and I have it on my calendar. You know, it's so good luck. I know everyone enjoy. That's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I'm going to be going to Seattle next year for AWP Festival, was it Association of Writers and Writers Presses. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. If anyone's going to that, let me know. That'd be really cool to meet up there. And that's going to be, I believe, in Seattle. So making plans now. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and continue. Oh, what's up, Amanda? Welcome, welcome. Yes, lots of compliments. I've heard like almost nothing but compliments. As always, Robin led these last 2 weekends at Tumblewards Writing Workshop. So of course, who's next but none other than our Tumblewards laureate. Let's go ahead and welcome Robin Schofield. Always rocking the drip. What's up, Robin? How are you?
Hey, thank you, Richie. Thanks, everybody. And for people who have been following the Julian saga, he just apologized to me and said the poem was not about me. So very weird. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read. I'm going to read a little invocation to the muses out of my book, Flow. It's called Poetry Olympics. I dance out of control as I call on the 9 and their 27 daughters whose sacred race must be run over the mountains. I lie in my cell and memorize the shape of bread and bells, syllable patterns with a will of their own that run through my head toward a yellow finish line. Melpomene hurdles and Erato comes to the rescue, for at least she is brief. And Melpomene, for those of you who are not in on that, is the muse of tragedy, and Erato is the muse of lyric poetry. Probably should have said that first. Sorry about that. And then I just want to read my little Tumblewords poem, because Tumblewords is accepting of everyone. This one is called Unlikely Guy in the Poetry Workshop. He calls himself Twain, literary and laconic, moniker, tall, even Lincoln-esque, but unkempt, hands caked with dirt as though he dug out of the grave just yesterday, and smelling of it too, sending the young lesbians in black tivas into rants on their own mortality. Then he says, the Etruscans had too many words for divination, aruspices and sulfur and mineral and grit, and he's weeping over his ex and her son. But what could she do when she called and his furies answered in rhyme and meter? All of us staggered by it as he voices what voices him in two tongues, cursed and gifted, dry wit railing against the riddled world. When Donna asks, would you like to lead a workshop? He replies, sure, if I'm not in jail. And yeah, I like that one. And it's got a kind of a inside joke in it too. And then I was looking through my poems. I was looking for something entirely different. And I found these poems that I called translation problems. And I was amazed at this one when I found it, because it's after Rilke, and I called it Radical Amazement. I'm pretty sure I started it in Tumblewords. We are holograms in Leibniz's universe of monads, a quantum bubble among a quadrillion Googles of other bubbles, and is our whole duty to embody this angelic mirror, to scoop up beauty and reflect it before it eradicates us in its deadly puzzle. See how youth pauses before the plate glass mirrors. The kitten by the back door jumps to see his own reflection, first in fright, then in play when you turn on the lamp. If angels are all radiance, then we in the new century know their dangers. Reaching out to them, we fall into the event horizon, as into their black wings, deadly arrows of radiation, our false friend, the explosions of hydrogen, elements pliable and noble as angels in an arid landscape we must evacuate, along with our partial hearts. Lovers, can you translate for us the robing of the sky at twilight, or the disrobing at the threshold of the granary? Can you translate the unsayable angels, or are you too wrapped up in each other's rapt gaze, a gaze which covers the tender gaps you find in each other, places where angels enter and speak? But do you notice that when you hold out your arms in this swollen absence, your feet slightly falter? How to say the hidden angels, how to forego such ecstasy as the untranslatable flower, the pinpoint plum verbena, or the wheeling sunflower of a galaxy, taking its time and place, waxing and waning as we evaporate along the cracks of the earth. Make yourself a vineyard, become your own wine, dry or sweet. Abundant grapes swell inside you if you cultivate the rocky soil and don't spray poison as if it were an angel. Think of the river and how dry it is here, and then go water yourself, sprout new leaves from your trunk until you flower into your whole heart, which you can no longer follow into the repose of greater angels. So that's what I wanted to read tonight, and just want to put in a plug for Tumblewords. We meet almost every Saturday, but not this Saturday because it's Labor Day. And the next Saturday will be September 10th. And it's Cassie. I know Cassie. She's a great poet. I have forgotten her last name. Sorry, Cassie.
It's Olguin Petinato.
No wonder I forgot it. Okay. Olguin Petinato. Okay.
There you go. Awesome. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it. And as always, you get lots of love from everyone here in the chat and all the praise from your workshops and readings, of course. We do have a little bit of Robin's live poetry set from last April on our YouTube channel. So if you guys are watching the live stream, you already know where the channel is. So on your own, if you can, subscribe to our channel and you can check that out later. But we're going to go ahead and continue. Also, yes, check out Tumblewords online on Facebook. Be kept up to date. And we will, she mentioned Cassie Holguin Petinato. I just recorded a podcast with her a couple weeks back. So I'm currently editing that. And we're talking about her new book. She's doing a workshop with Tumblewords, and she's doing a workshop with Papagayo Project. That's another thing that I'm involved with the college, and really looking forward to being back on that. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and continue with the show. In fact, we're going to go ahead and welcome someone new to the mic, at least this one. And as always, it's always great to welcome someone new to our show. So as always, guys, show some love and welcome our next performer. He's joining us from Boston, but I got to give props to the Yankee cap. Let's go ahead and welcome Rugged and Raw, going to perform some music for us. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Richie. And thank you everyone for sharing. I've caught a couple online at first before deciding to join. So I've known about this event for about a month and a half or so. I got a couple of short songs I'll do. And I'm just going to share the computer audio and we'll make that happen. Let me see. Whoops. Oh. I see it says host disabled screen sharing.
Yo, my bad. Let me get that on you. All right, you should be good to go now.
Thank you. Advanced computer audio.
See, that's how I know he's already got like the routine down, guys. We're in for a treat.
And then let's do this. Is the audio coming through?
Is awesome.
Okay, you get something to get off your gym? Yeah, I got
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, schedule your appointment then.
All right, yeah, let's go. I feel reborn, soaking all the afterbirth. Don't take my word for it, check me out in action first. Roll the dice against me, come up snake guys. Yo, my man, I'm about to make a sudden stop with no brake lights. Catch me in between thick thighs, cause they save lives. If I have a chick on the side, I call her steak fries. I'm headline news, you on the bottom left of page 5. Who got the most law fans? The answer's in the stage dive. Time to separate the realists and the bluffers. Who got the most resolve as opposed to who the toughest? Some got that one thing that they doing in abundance. I'm trying to be measured all around that circumference. Don't got a string of hits or 100,000 flows, but ask who worth the money when they put together shows. Pretend I like me now before the legend grows. When I finally break, I'm blocking numbers on my phone. Once I don't need you, then I'm really good at ghosting. My social media's dry from inconsistent posting. Don't interpret my out of sight and out of mind is coasting. Stocking up the dynamite to make more of an explosion. Place my throne in the stubble and erosion. Sitting slouch with my crown and I'm out in the open. Played it close to the chest, no one saw the plan in motion. Dove in head first, didn't bother with a Trojan. I'm creeping up on a mind. I'm creeping up on a mind. I'm creeping up on a mind. Ain't nobody saw it coming. I'm creeping up on a mind. I'm creeping up on a mind. I'm creeping up on a mind. Ain't nobody saw it coming. Yeah, that one was a short one. I will do one more.
That was fucking incredible, man.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Let's go. Oh, you know what? Let's go with this one. So you'll hear some singing on the hook, but I can't sing good at all. This is my friend Genevieve. So she'll be, well, she's not here, but you'll hear her on the hook. But I do like this song a whole lot, so. Pledge allegiance to the army of one. Crash uninvited to your party for fun. Resume long, but I've hardly begun. Hard on my sleeve makes my arm weigh a ton. I ain't never need anybody but me. Away from other pieces when I'm most complete. Lot of hard work often goes unseen. Just cause I'm out of sight don't mean I can't compete. Assume anybody in my space is the enemy. Me, myself, and I, the Holy Trinity. Lot of subgenres, none of them fitting me. Different angle when I write this calligraphy. Under quarantine where I signed the lease. My flesh costume underneath it, I'm a beast. The voices in my head collaborate to beats. When people ain't around is when I find my peace.
I don't want your bullshit.
I actually wrote this in 2019. This was the first single to an album I was going to call Quarantine. Having no idea about the pandemic, but whatever, it works out. One more verse. I'm on an island, man and machine, I'm a hybrid. No rest for the wicked, don't need eyelids. But even in the thick of things, keep divided. Fuck them. Depending on others is an added weight. Takes disappointment to allow that to marinate. Forever patient, but easy to aggravate. If not for rap, I'd be Tom Hanks in Castaway. No pressure for my ball and chain. If my life unfulfilling, I can hog the blame. Nobody is impervious to scars and pain. What I relish in my strengths and my flaws the same. Unity is crippled by vanity. I'm not influenced by hashtags and fantasy. Manipulation is often part of strategy. My independence, my greatest mastery.
I don't want your bullshit. I'm all I need in this world.
I did both of these beats. I make like 90% of my own beats too, so. On the list, so I will gracefully bow out here.
Yo,
thank you to
dope,
everyone.
man.
Appreciate
No,
y'all.
thank you, man. And you anticipated my question. I was gonna ask about the beats. So really quick though, for the uninitiated, we gotta know, is your music online so we can bump it, and also how can we follow you online?
Yes, so everything is online. I'm on all the streaming sites, the YouTube, and I'm on all the social media stuff. Everything is at Rugged and Raw, but the letter N, but not with the ampersand. So I'll type it in the chat, but it's Rugged, the letter N, Raw. Thank you all, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more people. So thank you.
Okay, people, let's say it. One of us.
I thought,
One of us. One of us. One of us.
I thought we had a meeting about this. No. So if you're not familiar, that just means we love you, man. Rugged and Raw, come on back. We're here every Monday, so you got a little bit of free time. Sign up and share some. I'm sure you have plenty of songs to share, so we'd love to hear more of them. Great wordplay, I love it. The rhyme scheme, the meter, like the delivery, it's all so good. Thank you, man, for being here with us. And yes, again, that chat just means you're one of us. Welcome back. And you're more than welcome back. Alrighty then, let's go and keep going, guys. Once again, welcome to Monday Night, the online show. My name is Rich, I'm your MC. And if you guys are ever in the El Paso area physically, come visit us. We have open mics, and if we plan early enough, we can create a showcase around you, like a show. You know, I do video production, audio production as well, so we can film and record you guys. So yeah, if you're ever in the El Paso area, hit us up. We want to welcome you from NYC to EP. If you are already in the El Paso area, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, we have our open mic at Mono Bar to close out our August calendar. And yo, September is going to be crazy. I'm adding another open mic, and I might be adding another venue, so be on the lookout for that. And always, just to keep up, you can follow us online, Barbed Wire Open Mic, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. All right. So let's go ahead and continue with our list, which I'm looking at right here. I'm live narrating for whatever reason. Let's go ahead and continue. We're going to go to South Euclid, Ohio. And that's right. You know what time it is. We're going to look up to the skies to our own satellite, our poet laureate of South Euclid. Let's go and welcome Doc Janning to the show. What up, Doc?
Thank you. It's funny that you mention showcasing people. I was just asked this evening by a gallery in Cleveland Heights to show my poetry in frames in their gallery, probably in the end of January. So I'm getting a lot more play. And on Friday, I was asked by Notre Dame College of Ohio, which is celebrating its centennial on September 22nd, to write a centennial poem for them. So I'm just going a little bit nuts out here with different things. A friend of mine in England, some of you may know of him, Charlie Markwick from Gloucester, England, wrote a blessing for a poet, which I would like to read now. May the world in which you live be the world in which I live. May the air you breathe be shared by all. May the words you speak be the ones we will forever hear. Okay. Touching the rim of life, and life is in all caps. Does life require a purpose? Is it in some way to touch the rim of life? We ponder this question as we experience life, as we travel through and partake of it. To touch the rim of life, though, is a quantum leap, a leap beyond mere experience. It is to stand with one hand extended into the multiverse and the other into life as a conduit for life. It is to touch the infinite, the all, in a way which forever changes us and challenges us to reach out, to be more than we are. What is the difference between life and life? Some see it in the limited sense, one being lowercase and the other as all caps. But there is a broader philosophical and, some might say, esoteric interpretation. Life does not express itself in words or sounds as does life, but in enfolding depths of an all-embracing silence. Life is what a sentience experiences with and through time, whereas life is, in a profound sense, the essence of the all, an expression of the multiverse in its vast, ever-expanding complexity. Some might term this an expression of God, or the force, or any other complex abstraction which explains that which is, at present, otherwise inexplicable. Life might also be defined as all which was, is, or will be. This definition is dependent on the concept of time being linear. It has been said, energy follows thought, and what we believe we create. Do we, therefore, create life, or does it create us? Cogito ergo sum, sum ergo cogito, ergo cogito sum? Or should it be ergo sum cogito, or Sum cogitamentum ergo sum. Those who have had near-death experiences have touched the rim of life and are changed, each in their own way, by the experience. In a sense, they are reborn. Life has brought them to new patterns of thought, new patterns of experience, patterns which define their further existence, creating new paradigms, creating new pathways of desire. Those other pathways, none quite as dramatic, are open to all who seek teaching, learning, meditation, listening and seeing with our souls, experiencing all life has to offer with open heart and mind. It is why you must create, explore, dream, discover, live. Pathways of desire lead to a soul-searing intimacy, an intimacy of thought, emotion, empathy, inspiration, and spirit. They are found in subtle yet profound infinities, infinities which are interwoven as lives intersect, forming nexus after nexus in which the whole of life is present, in which anything can be created. Life and living can be confusing, but there are no impossibilities for life, only exponential possibilities. To touch the rim of life, we cannot hide from life. We must embrace it in all its infinite subtleties and complexity. If we limit our choice to but one path, we limit opportunities for growth, for creation of yet more paths, along which the potential exists for touching the rim of life, thereby to bring to thought more infinities of possibilities. Life's pathways are canvases for our imagination. Neither our fears nor the expectations of others should set parameters or destinations for us. They are our pathways, which others may walk with us, but none may walk them for us. As we walk, there is pleasure to be found among and along the limitless pathways we travel throughout our lives, tasting life in the moment and in retrospect while seeking life. By this measure, we cannot touch the rim of life without touching life, without giving to life some measure of pleasure, receiving it in return, helping to wake it in another. When we touch or hold a newborn of any species, we are touching the rim of life. In so doing, we begin the totality of their life experiences and continue ours, challenging and encouraging them to reach out, to touch in turn, to reach for life and the peace which lies therein. Life is replete with answers awaiting discovery. We must ask questions and question without losing ourselves, becoming lost in our eldritch longing, the longing to understand. Let us seek the known in the unknown and the infinite unknowns together. Thank you.
Wow, that was a lot to take in. Interwoven infinities. I mean, that's how do I start there? Doc, awesome.
Thank you.
Where, so you already kind of said it all, upcoming features and all that. And then people want to find you online, they can just do it through Facebook.
Correct. Doc Janning on Facebook.
Right on. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your night. I think we got it all.
Enjoy yours.
And feel free to share any links as well in the chat, of course. Man, I was taking notes on that. All I know is when I heard the all embracing silence, I just thought of me when I tell a joke in my classes. But the existence of a multiverse does dictate there is a multiverse where I'm funny. Okay, it's gonna happen. All right, I'm just, I don't know. Moving on. I like that mumble transition. That comes in clutch. Thank you, Kit, for that. All right, Dog Janning, everyone. So we're gonna go ahead and go from South Euclid, Ohio, to the West Coast, where we are happy once again to welcome. Joining us, new to Miramar College in San Diego. We're going to share a little bit of music, poetry mashed up together, but we all know they fit so perfectly well together. He's working on some really cool things there at the college. In order to, there's a budget possibly involved in stuff. So poets, he's coming for you. Without further ado, let's go and welcome back to the stage also Lobo. What's up, man?
Thank you all so much. I don't know. I got a book, 2020 D Visions. I got a CD, Haiku Tenka and Senryu Oh My. And I have a second book coming out tomorrow called Word Tornadoes. So, if y'all are interested. This isn't in any of that because this is like brand new. Like last night I slammed this together. It's an old song by a band called They Eat Their Own. I Need You Like a Drug, but then my poetry woven in as well. So, hungry for your love, table scraps become a feast when given no choice. But I don't buy your true life stories, 'cause I've seen the way you lie. But I don't mind the things you tell me, 'cause I know we'll say anything to get by. But when we're together, somehow I feel better. My disease always tricks me. I believe you can fix me. We're insane. I love the drama. Tell the truth, you love it too. I know to you, reason strikes. We fight and break up, 'cause it seems the easiest thing to do. But when I don't get your call, I go into withdrawal. You consume every thought, but if you call me, I would tell you to fuck off. I need you. I need you. I need you. I need you. An empty suitcase longing to be filled again, heavy with baggage. It turns me on to say I love you, but deep inside it's just addiction. I love it all. One day we will leave each other, but we pretend the end's not inevitable. I require protection from my own obsession in the object of you. One day I will rise above you. I need you, I need you like 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 a drug. In this scene together, we're seen together, but does it seem together when these seams rip the tether, these screams last forever, or these dreams escape the never as we hide under the weather? Admit the truth never when we're seen together in this scene together. But when we're together, somehow I feel better. My disease always tricks me. I believe you can fix me. I need you. I need you. I need you. I need you. On second thought, just when you thought the love was true, you find they put a spell on you. Just when you thought the love was true, you find they put a spell on you. Your kisses may be poison, but as I lie here dying, I can see music and hear colors. Thank you for listening. Thank you for encouraging my behavior. That was totally experimental. You want an experimental? I just slapped that together. There's your experiment.
Yes, I'll say yes every time. Awesome, man. So yeah, that's always you're always welcome to do more in the future. But if you want to promote YouTube channel, I know you mentioned your book. Feel free to share a link where we can purchase that. And is the CD is it available digital online as well by any chance?
It is. All of my stuff is available. All of my stuff is available, both physical and digital. Not the books. The CDs are digital and physical. The books are physical, but you can get them all at my online shop. It's all there in the chat there.
Perfect. Yeah, you already had it ready. You're such a pro. I was like, just as I was asking, you did the copy paste. Also, Lobo, everyone, much love. Thank you as always for joining us, and we're happy to have the music and poetry even
Peace,
together.
love, and poetry, y'all. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. I know you got a pretty cool message right there in the chat for you. Yo, check it out. YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and paste his link tree and other things here. What is up, Samuel Wilson? Good to see you back on YouTube, my friend. Welcome. All right, yes. So I just posted that link on YouTube. Check that out. I definitely want to check out the music and eventually get a copy of the book. I'm trying to get to everyone's books. Money's tight, but you know what? The semester just started, so I'm looking forward to next month when we get paid. All right, yo, let's go ahead and continue on this list here. Let's take a look. All right, yeah. How can I forget? We're gonna go from San Diego back to the land of Cleves. That's right. We're doing like some Ohio hopping. Let's go ahead and welcome the urban cowboy poet back on the stage. Is he still? Oh no, he changed it. Earlier it was the Ubin cowboy, but now he's the urban cowboy poet. What's up, Greg? Go ahead.
That's from my German fans. They've been cowboy poet. People have questioned my sanity because I moved from San Diego to Ohio to Cleveland, but that's their problem. Have a book. Yeah, people want to get in New York, but not everybody's going to New York. You're not going to New York. Michael's not going to New York. Buy my book and pay postage. $15 and $5 postage. You could see me YouTube or Facebook at Urban Cowboy Poetry, and you could pay me by PayPal at urbancowboypoet@gmail.com, or message me in some other, but please buy my book. It's a good thing. I am going to New York for the Poetry Festival, and I think I'm going to New York again in January to perform at Carnegie Hall. Yeah, wow. This group from Oberlin College and community, Oberlin Musical Union. My sister's singing it. My parents used to sing in it. They said, invite your friends, audition. I auditioned. They're going to sing in Carnegie Hall in January. And I'm probably going. I'll see if both my sisters can come. And then we'll go. Cool. But I don't have anything new. I'm writing other stuff that's not for the Zoom public. I have been performing in comedy clubs.
We have made it clear that it doesn't have to be new. We said.
Oh, I know that. I know. I'm going to start writing other stuff. I'm writing other stuff that'll just personal family stuff and other stuff now, but I have the books. Maybe I'll start writing, performing excerpts from my memoirs or something. But anyway, we're talking about California, so I'll do a urban legend about California. On a hot day in the summer, Charlie did what he loved most. He went scuba diving off the California coast. No better way to keep cool than exploring in the water. What Charlie didn't know was that his day would get much hotter. As he was swimming, hunting clams and flippering around, from above the surf, he heard a whoopa whoopa sound. Charlie got to wondering just what that could be, and a brown metallic vessel starts submerging in the sea. He felt himself being pulled aboard by some powerful suction. What the heck was going on? An alien abduction? Was Charlie being hijacked to some aqueous moon of Jupiter by flippered beings who think that he's just like them, only stupider? When Charlie was out there swimming around and playing scuba games, 100 square miles of forest land was going up in flames. The U.S. Forest Service had done set its plan in motion. They sent a fleet of aircraft to scoop water from the ocean. Toward a flying saucer, just a Forest Service chopper, carrying seawater, fishes, crabs, and Charlie in its hopper. 1 minute, Charlie's in the sea, then in the wild blue yonder. Next thing he knows, he's fighting fires. He's become a first responder. When the pilot dumped his bucket on Apache aimed to soak, Charlie landed in the branches of a blackened red oak. He dived equipped with tank and mask, flippers, and wetsuit, but he forgot to bring along his fireproof parachute. Later, when the Rangers surveyed damage they could see, they spied a curious, crispy critter hanging in a tree. Is that a bear way up there? One ranger had to ask. Not unless the bear would wear 2 flippers and a mask. California firemen's wives were so proud of their spouses who fought to save the pot farms and the $1 million houses. If you'd asked old Charlie's wife, she'd have said the chance was 0 that her scuba diving hubby would turn out to be a hero. When they ID'd Charlie, his wife cried, but her head couldn't be held higher. He was credited with extinguishing 2 square yards of fire. Fate's a bitch when a man goes diving looking for adventures and winds up burned so bad he must be ID'd by his dentures. Thank you. Get the book, or see me in New York, or both.
What a cheerful ending for such a morbid last line.
I know. I tried playing with that ending and I couldn't make it cheerful.
All right, thank you. Definitely check out the book. Appreciate that. Any links that you want to share as well. And of course, let's say someone here is watching you for the first time. How can they also find more of your work online?
Well, I just said it. Urban Cowboy Poetry.
You did. Okay.
On YouTube and Facebook. And my email is urbancowboypoet@gmail.com. You can PayPal me there. And I will put it in the chat too, but I just told you here. Okay.
Appreciate that.
Cool. Richie?
Yeah?
This stuff I recorded in your studio that was going to come out soon.
Soon, right? Yes, I'm currently trying to get an assistant because I have so much media. It's there. It's on the list. You are there. I still have it, but it's going to be a nice surprise. I'll just say that. No, we just started the semester. I think I'll have a little bit of time to work on little by little. If you can, it will be on our YouTube channel, and I'll send you the link. All right. Okay. And since you asked nicely, I'll probably skip you up in the line.
And Snoopy is going to the moon.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Urban Cowboy Poet, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Love it. Yeah, I do have your video. I also recorded Sandy Shakes when she was at that same time, and then I have so many more people, so we'll get on there. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead, guys, and keep it going. And if I'm looking at the list, we're gonna go to Pittsburgh, and it would be a shame if I They put some effort into writing something in the bio. So, as I introduce our next performer, here's a little something that they wrote. There is nothing interesting about me. Oh, I don't know about that. But here's a list. I like steno pads and paste best. My favorite subject was Intro to Accounting. I enjoy vanilla cake, but only the kind with the shortening frosting like they have at employee appreciation meetings at companies that do those. Not mine. Without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome back to the mic, as always, gladly, Vale Larkin. What's going on, Vale?
Hi.
Hey.
I love that I can apparently write absolutely anything now and you'll read it. Okay, I have a new piece, a couple of new pieces. One year in November, we all woke up. The gnawing of despair at our hearts, the glare of screens barely flickering, all numbers shifting on static frames and stark, sunken faces. Tonight they rise, like a tide of nightmares, all our old bullies, old tormentors, all our rigid families and vicious priests. Tonight, they rise up and seize hold of our throats. Fingers digging into skin and tendons, our breath caught in a vice, eyes shrieking. Tonight, all our old terrors are tearing our future to shreds. Black, brown, every spectrum shade, all the colors everywhere, tattered scraps in the snow. They celebrated in the streets, like the news of our deaths was the best they had heard. All of them, those finger pointers, those stone throwers, those skinless accusers. They celebrated in the streets like a myth of jihad that never once happened, the way all our wars happened. As the beast turned back to the masses, to the kin of its masters, we all saw it. The way the whites of its eyes were the white of our skin, the way its teeth glowed ivory, and the terrible ice of its breath on our face, all our pallor stalking us, all of us, the dark, the frail, the meek, the uncovered. Our skins became death, as they always were. We annihilate ourselves and all others we meet, greet as strangers, aliens, and dispose of. Here is our reflection. This horror, our silence. This violence, our stillness. This nightmare, our wretched disaffection. One day, we all woke up. Dawn revealing a wasteland of crumbled illusions and decaying wishes. One day, one poison day, one eye-opening, dream-snatching, heart-breaking day. We all woke up. Thank you. I have one more. This is a little longer. It's a short sequence. Slight intro. I am a disabled wheelchair user with a degenerative spinal condition. I have a more limited lifespan than most people, and it makes you think about things, as it turns out. So, this is kind of what I think about. Exoplanet. 1. I am so lost here in this meat, and I can't tell if it's holding us back or holding us up. I can't tell what's real in this soup. Mind-melding gut bacteria, hormone profiles, mirror neurons, a fungus that takes over your brain. Reality is teeming with potential, seething, swarming with options and possibilities. I don't know if I could even imagine anything beyond these bone-bound oubliettes we find ourselves in. I imagine nonsense, feeling without juice, thought without salt, life without meat, a disembodied, infinitely malleable awareness. if I can follow every last spark of sensation to its nerve-bound origin? What do ghosts know with? How do they feel? Where does their love live? 2. I find here myself. I find here at the center the string and slime and congealed grit of me. I find biological agents of order and change, shelter and love. I find every drop of passion running through blood, lymph, cerebrospinal fluid teeming with proteins and antagonists. Here is a memory made of acid and oil. Here is joy, an astronaut, flying from dendrite to dendrite, faith in the void and velocity. Here is the definition of serendipitous, arrayed in all its molecular whimsy. Here is the faintest trace of madness and caffeine. Where is art? Is all creation only synthesis? How is imagination? 3. There are millions of beings who call your meat home. You are a metropolis, a biome, an ambulatory planet. Do planets go to heaven when they die? Does the Earth's mood shift as we roil her matter with our gouging, churning burrowing? Watch her magma flow in great slow beats, her passion rising, and we, her parasites, clinging to her skin and believing we are the answer. When she dies, does she go to heaven? 4. Beyond all this teeming, squeezing, salivating life, what is it about the spaces between, the millimeters between, the heartbeats between the bones of your spine and the thread from which dangles your life? What is it about this small emptiness that is so vitally important that losing it, even once in a while, even for a little, even in just a few places, coccyx and lumbar, between C6 and C7, can stop everything? A skipped beat, a stilled rib, and gone, as though you never once oozed your liquid, illogical self across the surface of this world. Do planets go to heaven when they die? I wonder for just a little while longer, or longer and longer, feeling dissected from meat, mind from oil and electrolytes, and soul. Oh, soul, do you go to heaven? Do you die? Little planets, wandering lost. Who are we?
Holy crap, that was so good. Some bio-existential musings there. Little planets. That's us. Yo.
We
I loved
are.
it. Yeah. Thank you, Vil. That was amazing. And the first one was so terrifying as well. Jeez. Yeah, it was a feast of lions. I was writing stuff down like that's good. That's good. That's good. Keep going. So for the uninitiated people who don't know, like do you post your work online, or where does people get a hold of you if they want to chat, or just hear more of your work? There it is.
Yes, and if you go to my link tree, it also has my YouTube channel where I have a lot of poetry videos, some videos with ASL performers, and interpretation, and most of my videos have captions.
Perfect. Sorry, I think I was muted. Perfect. Thank you so much. I love it. All right. We shared that. Check out the link tree, Twitter, IG, Vil Larkin. Very great stuff. Very great stuff. All right. Molecular Whimsy. That's another one that stuck around with me. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and right after Vil, we're going to come back to EP El Paso, Chuco Town, and we're going to welcome Mr. Monday Night. You guys already know. Let's go ahead and hand the mic over and welcome Kit Ren to the mic. What's up, Kit? K-I-T.
What's up, Nate? What's up, Richie? What is up, everyone? So good to see you all looking nice in your little squares. I'm going to do 2 of mine, and then finish the short story. Funny story about that, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Everything in its order. Okay. This one's pretty old, but it's a classic. It's the one that's the most. Shut up, kid. Read the book. I wish to relieve one pressure you have felt and replace it immediately with another. Do not worry about first impressions. First impression is nothing. It is easily overridden and constantly amended, often forgotten entirely. Much more important is the 0th impression. You have no control over the 0th impression. You have no way to influence it or to even access it. It is being made right now independently in places that you have never even driven. You see, as friends tell new friends of old friends, these new friends must depend on imagination and stock images to complete the story themselves. You are a placeholder name in so many stories. There are mental images of you based off of absolutely no evidence. People you have never met have strong and inflexible opinions about you and what you should have done that one time. One day you will meet someone who knows of you only from a bystander's account of the worst day of your life. If he or she makes the connection, they will be close to starstruck, trying to reconcile the physical facts with their own understanding. You must see, they have carried this cartoon of you, this caricature from a tourist trap for a long time. It has been rolled up, put in moving boxes, and subsequently unpacked in new domiciles. They may have even added their own twist to the story. It is their story now. You are now the protagonist of a modern urban legend. Do not fight against the 0th impression. Do not dwell on it. Don't justify yourself. Don't try to give context. Do your best to see the honor and not the offense. While no one can be all things to all people, you may find that thanks to the 0th impression being many things to enough people, it's astoundingly easy. The last time I read that in person at Sheepdog a couple months ago, someone in the front row was just going, "Oh my God, that's so true," at the end of each line. It's one of my favorite experiences having read that. Okay, this one's relatively newer. I think I read it here a couple times, so we can't justify the new shit channel. But you know, you can do what you want. I'm not your dad. Mumble transition. There are those people who find evidence of their own primacy in the universe in every twitch and spasm of Mother Nature's nose. They think their tears make the trees grow. They turn on the 5:30 news and listen to the weatherman tell them how they feel. I am the opposite. I take comfort in the total indifference of nature. The scent of the pine has no idea what I feel, with apologies to Nina Simone. The stars, when they shine, are millions of years too late to make a difference. I will whisper her name into the mesquite tree's hollow, and I know my secret will be kept. The mesquite will not repeat what it hears, not even by accident. Nature abhors a gossip. The sun beats down on us all, dutiful but impersonal, like a factory worker, indifferent as it shines to which leaves are wilted and which hearts are broken. Okay, and the final part of My Father Addresses Me on the Facts of Old Age by Grace Paley. I made a slight mistake last week and read part 4 instead of part 3. So you've already heard the end of this story, but that's okay. Like, if you're trying to recreate the short story by stringing these videos together instead of just buying a Grace Paley book, then I accidentally made your life harder. I apologize. But Yes, part 3 of 4, read 4th of My Father Addresses Me on the Facts of Old Age by Grace Paley. It was at least 3 weeks before I saw him again. He was drinking tea, eating a baked apple, one of 12 my sister baked for him every 10 days. I took another one out of the refrigerator. Fathers and Sons was on the kitchen table. Most of the time he read history. He kept Gibbon and Prescott on the lampstand next to his resting chair, but this time, thinking about Russia for some reason in a kindly way, he was reading Turgenev. Hey, you were probably pretty busy, he said. Where are the kids? With their father? He looked at me hopefully. No hope, Pa. Oh, by the way, this fella Turgenev, he wasn't a show-off. He wrote a certain book and he became famous right away. One day he went to Paris. He spent the evening at the opera. And he stepped into his box, and just as he was sitting down, the people began to applaud. And the whole opera house was clapping. He was known. Everybody knew his book. And he said, I see Russia is known in France. You're a lucky girl that these books are in the living room, more on the table than the shelf. Yes. Excuse me. Also about Turgenev, I don't believe he was an anti-Semite. Of course, most of them were, even if they had brains. I don't think Gorky was. Google, probably. Tolstoy, no. Tolstoy had an opinion about the Mexican-American War. Did you know? Of course, most were anti-Semites. Dostoevsky, it was natural, it seems. Why is it we read them with such interest and they don't return the favor? That's what women writers say about men writers. Oh, please don't start in. I'm in the middle of telling you some things you don't know. Well, I suppose you do know a number of Gentiles. You're more in the American world. I know very few. Still, I was telling you, Jews were not allowed to travel in Russia. I told you that. But a Jewish girl, if she was a prostitute, could go anywhere throughout all Russia. Also a Jew if he was a merchant first class. Even people with big stores were only second class. Who else? A soldier who had a medal. I think St. George. Do you know nobody could arrest him? Even if he was a Jew. If he killed someone, a policeman could not arrest him. He wore a certain hat. Why am I telling you this? Well, it is interesting. Yes, but I'm supposed to tell you a few things. See, give advice. A few last words. Of course, the fact is that I am obliged because you are always getting yourself mixed up in politics, because your mother and I were such radical kids, socialists, in constant trouble with the police. It was 1904, 05. You have the idea that it's okay for you, and it is not okay in this country, which is a democracy. And you're running in the street like a fool. Your cousin saw you a few years ago in school suspended, sitting with other children in the auditorium, not allowed to go to class. You thought Molly and I didn't know. Pa, that was 35 years ago in high school. Anyway, what about Mama? You mentioned the Azarmik family. She was a dentist, wasn't she? Right. A very capable woman. Well, Mama probably felt bad about not getting to school and, becoming something, having a profession like Mrs. What's-her-name. I mean, she did run the whole house and family and the office and people coming to live with us, but she was sad about that, surely. He was quiet. Then he said, "You're right. It was a shame. Everything went into me, so I should go to school. I should graduate. I should be the doctor. I should have the profession." Poor woman. She was extremely smart. At least as smart as me. In Russia, in the movement, when we were youngsters, she was considered the more valuable person. Very steady, honest, made first-class contact with the workers, a real organizer. I could only be an intellectual. Maybe if life didn't pass so quick, speedy like a winter day, short. You know, also she was very musical. She had perfect pitch. A few years ago, your sister made similar remarks to me about Mama, questioning me like history is my fault. Your brother only looked at me the way he does, not with complete approval. Right.
Yes. All right, man.
All
Go ahead
right.
and let us know. Let us know.
Right. Sing along if you know the words. Instagram at Kit Ran Away. Twitter Kit Talk Sports. You can follow me at Goodreads and learn all the books that I'm reading as I read them. Kofi.com/KitRen. It's coming back. Preliminary research has begun. And find me on Facebook easy enough. You can send me an email. You can drop something in the tip jar by typing my email into PayPal. The Tumblewords Project will continue in Seculae Seculorum, amen. But we're taking Labor Day off because Eugene Debs shouldn't have to live for nothing. We're going to take that weekend off and come back to September 10th with Cassie Holking Pedinato, whose new chapbook, The Lamb's Tale, is already hard to find. There's a lot of copies sold. Richie's got one. Talk to him. He knows what it's all about. Very excited for the upcoming schedule in Tumblewords. Very excited for every Monday. And I am just going to mute myself because I don't, then I'll just keep.
Perfect. Everyone, Kit Ren, as we say, Mr. Monday Night. But honestly, every time he performs, it's his night because he just has such a command of the stage and the mic, both metaphorical and literal. Awesome stuff. I appreciate the story. Yeah, and I know last week you had told me like, oh, I messed up the order. So, you know, we figured out. We'll shuffle things around and make it work out. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and continue. Our next performers. 1, 2, 3. We have about. Wait, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 5 performers left. I'll you know what? Since you mentioned it, I'll read a little something from Cassie's book, The Lamb's Tale. But right now, we're gonna go to New Jersey, where we have an author, The Chameleon Chronicles 2022. She's also published in Touching Tongues, and of course, she's often can be found here. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the stage Terry Rose Jertson. What's going on? What up?
Hello.
Hey.
I didn't bring my book up here, but it was the picture. It was in that picture. And I'm gonna read 2 pieces that I wrote in Ray Jane's workshop. And this is a form. One's a villanelle, and the other one is, I'm not sure. What's ABACABABA? Anyway, I'm not sure.
A triolet.
Thank you. Everybody's so smart in here. I just feel like I need to learn more. You have to teach me, Professor. Okay.
We all do.
All right. So this one's called Living in Fifth Gear. And it's a villanelle. You think that life is supposed to be lived in fifth gear. I move a bit slower now, but I will eventually get there. Determined not to win, but to steer, trying steadily, suredly. I plow. I think that's what it says. I'm right. It's real tiny. I can't read it. You think that life's supposed to be living in fifth gear. I tell you, to be steadfast with your vision clear. I tell you to make the lifelong vow, but I will eventually get there. Do not hurry your plan, my dear. Make your plan with know-how. You think that life is supposed to be lived in fifth gear. Into my future, I will peer. I will do it before my final bow, but I will eventually get there. Procrastination is always near, cutting the ties with, oops. I think it says power to endow. You think that life is supposed to be living in fifth gear, but I will eventually get there. So, yeah, I'm sorry my writing is so bad and my eyesight is just blurry at this time of day. I just can't focus at all. It's bad. Okay, so this one is called Manifest What I Prepare For. I think that's what it's called. That's written above it. If not, then this has no title. I cannot see. I'm telling you, I'm going blind here. Okay. I break the sadness encompassing me. I brush away fear, drum, snaring. I break shades of blue, purple, and green. I will transform to something out of this state, even if I feel I'm not ready. I refuse to die without a fight. I break the shades of the sea. I blow the trumpets blaring as I break waves to be free. Sorry, that was another little spot in there that I couldn't. Oh, it was to motion. I will transform to motion out of this state. That's what it was. I'm sorry. Okay, so then I have one more short one, and I think this one doesn't have too many scratches out, so I should be okay. Willing to go to war for. This is what I would be willing to go to war for. I'm a lover, not a fighter, a pacifist, but don't get my feathers ruffled. Mama bird sees baby in trouble, will fly into the face of the bigger enemy to protect the young or die trying. What else did Mother Nature intend for? I have seen non-instinctual behavior, although the weakest knocked out of the nest rarely survives. I thrive just to despite them. The best revenge is to live like Joseph, who was left in a well to die, thought better and sold to the highest bidder. Father Jacob cried, his favorite son, brothers, what have you done? For my pieces.
Awesome. No, I appreciate you reading from that. That's cool. Yeah, and I wish everyone could kind of like show like their process, you know, like all the scribbles, the scratch outs, you know, all the arrows. That's always kind of the fun part behind the scenes.
Mind-boggling.
Even if it's harder to read at the
Yeah,
late at night online.
It's rough at night. My eyes are blurry. Like I only have a good focus time, like a certain like time of day now. And I really have to get that addressed. I've been doing the cognitive therapy, but now I have to do the visual therapy from the accident also. So I don't know what that's going to entail, but I have to get that together too. But so I have, I'm just going to be there's one thing that I had, I think something at FUMFA is in the brew. I don't know what's happening when or anything, but something's happening soon with them. And then I have the Poetry Festival in New York. I have my book for sale, The Chameleon Chronicles 15, and I have PayPal and Cash App. Just message me on iFunny's mom on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook as well. And I'll put it in the chat.
All right, absolutely. iFunny's mom, Tate Rose Judson, thank you as always. Check out Chameleon Chronicles. Fincabulary, what you got? When's that coming down?
Back to School Days, I think the name of it, and I'm co-hosting with her.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Awesome. Yes, shout out to Finn Bell, Fincabulary. She always makes some great programs. I saw, you know, she does the loose lip sync ships and open mics and all sorts of program, including Twitter Spaces. We did a really cool casual conversation on the music poetry connection last Friday. That's available on her Twitter. So it's a whole lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that stuff. And I don't know why one of your first poems reminded me. I don't know why it reminded me of like the theme song from Friends, like the first line, like, so no one told you life was gonna be this way. Anyway, I was thinking about
Maybe
that song.
we could work on that together. Put it to music. I don't know.
Maybe a parody would be great. Yeah, a parody would be great. Although there's something really funny about that song where there's that first line that most of us know, but like there's the chorus and then after, and then the next verse says like completely contradicts the opening line. Like, your mother warned you there'd be days like these, and I swear I think that line is in there. So I'm like, wait a minute. So no one warned you, but your mom warned you. Anyway, this is just my freestyle train of thought after a bunch of coffee.
That's
bad,
just
guys.
lazy writing.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's something for us to think about. Some philosophical nuggets from the Rembrandts there. Sorry, guys. Did not mean to subject you to that. Let's go ahead and keep going with the list. We're going to go, the beauty of the online shows, we can go from coast to coast. So we're going to go from New Jersey to San Francisco. And welcome back to the mic. It is always great when she can join us, not just to hang out, but even just to read. Let's go and welcome Tanish. What's going on? Hello. You still here with us? Wait. Yes. Okay. Tanish in the house. Tanish. Coming up on the mic. Might be away from the computer. It happens. Okay. We'll do a call. What's up, Tanish? Can you hear me? That's kind of like the old school Zoom days, right? Doing the summoning. Or like the seance. Okay, so maybe we'll jump back and see, because sometimes people gotta be away from computer. So for now, let's go and switch it up. We're gonna switch it up. We'll go to Washington D.C. and as always, he'll give us his syllabus for his set. You know what to expect, including the calendar. So let's go ahead and welcome to the stage the one, the only Ed. Poetastic. What is up, Ed? How you doing right now, man? You feeling good? Might be away from computer as well.
You chased everyone away, Richie.
Was it? My thoughts were that bad? I know. There's a multiverse where I didn't do that. That's all I know. But I have to live in this one, so. Yikes.
Tess
okay.
is probably here.
Okay, so we got Tanish, we've got Ed. All right, we'll get on. So let's see. I still have Somok and Dan on the list, but I know they signed up for the end of the show. So while we wait for our friends, and actually, let me go ahead and message. Yo, we're ready for you. Ready for you when you are. What's up, Nick?
I know. I was going to say, can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Why don't you spit? It's been a while since I heard you. Why don't you spit something?
Yeah. Wait.
What about you?
Oh, me. You know what? I have I'm gonna read this piece from Cassie Olguin Betinatos, The Lamb's Tale. So Cassie is out of El Paso, and she has signed up before at these online mics, but I don't think she's ever been able to make one. She has a little girl, so I think Mondays are kind of hard, especially like at this time to do like shows and readings. But hopefully get to meet her. She's got this really cool chapbook. I interviewed her, and I will post that on our YouTube channel. Anyway, this is one of the opening poems. It's called "Giving Pain a Home." My daughter wears my shades of brown and cranberry lipstick, brown like mud pies I made as a kid in the front yard. I ran my fingers into the watery clay. I ran my fingers in the earth. She eats the mud. She shows me her mouth full of small pebbles, a brown-stained tongue, with the biggest smile, and nods. Good. It must taste good to eat her home. Cranberry, like the color of the prickly pear from the nopal cactus. My mother filled the house with every kind of cactus, inside and outside. Some gave orange flowers, the color of my grandmother's lipstick I smeared across my face. Payasa. My mother touched the pricks gently with her palms, She cradled them, loved them more than her daughter. She held them like mud and swore this was how they would grow. This was how they wouldn't die. So that's one of the pieces from Cassie. Definitely giving pain a home. Oh, and that's also relates to Tumblewords. Perfect. All right. Ed, what's up, man? You're here with us. Do you want to read?
Of course, of course. That was a
Okay,
lovely
cool.
piece to say the
Appreciate
least.
that. Yeah, as a little teaser for those of you who haven't had a chance to meet Cassie yet. She'll be doing Tumblewords later on, and yes. All right. So let's go ahead and Washington D.C. Ed, I gave you a cool introduction and everything already, but let's go ahead and take it away, man.
Thank you, my brother, for another one with words of thunder. Woo! Hello, my name is Ed Potasso. You feel fantastic. Please get a time to enjoy my rhyme for all feel sublime. I got 6 jokes and 3 poems, so you know they're gonna rhyme. The first joke is, why couldn't the graham cracker wear shorts? It always leave it flat. Why was the alien in jail? Because he's under probation. What was Papa Smurf's favorite band? The Blue Man Group. Why did the comedian love the hyena? He was a barrel of laughs. What did the doctor told Humpty Dumpty? Would you like the news the sunny side up or over easy? And last but not least, why is Oscar always in a bad mood? His house was a dump. Yeah, that joke didn't fly. All right, I got my first poem. My first poem is called We Can Rise. We can rise. Oh, pain, don't be abstain. We can rise. No pain, no gain. We can rise. Fear, don't let it be. Fear, don't let it be contained. We can rise. Experience can't be disdained. We can rise. Break out of the mediocre domains. We can rise. Destroy those heavy chains. We can rise. Use your colorful abyss brain. We can rise. Chug it down like tasty champagne. We can rise. Down the hungry life's drain. We can rise. Spread across the plains. We can rise. Spread across. We can rise. Eat the very bitter grains. We can rise. Many hardship we slain. We can rise. Ride the rough, dirty lanes. We can rise. Run the spiky terrains. We can rise. Control the hellish train. We can rise. Drink the acid rain. We can rise. Embrace your messy stains. We can rise. Time won't be in vain. We can rise. Our trials make us more humane. The more pain we suffer, the better we can rise. Push on, go on, live on. Please don't suffer and complain. All right, thank you. Let's see. Up next is Rooted Shadow. Sometimes blood is thicker than water. No directions, guidance, or father. My blood boiling hotter, hotter, and hotter. My clear tears feeling like raging salt water. A swollen heart bursting from confusion. Chasing questions while in easy in. Got into so many inner executions. I couldn't comprehend the struggles that transcend. A shadow danced on eggshells, nails, and glass. Praying for God could offer the holy sign. You know, a little sunlight for this little grass. Too bad the line to divine was declined. I was alone with a name I couldn't understand. Had an empty heart and even emptier hands. I bathed in emptiness and loneliness firsthand, trying to understand the foggy meaning of how to be a man. Every single Father's Day, I was completely alone. No joys of celebrating pastimes. The grief slowly melting my bones. I was young, yet I wasn't in my prime. My whimpering cries fell on deaf ears. No light in my mental cave. The inner mockings of my fears. My depression coming in millions of waves. My existence flickering in the chaotic storms. Mind boggling the concepts of who am I. The echoes wishing I wasn't born. I couldn't see a glimmer of light in my inky sky. Why learn this deepest depth of life? The virtue is you really don't need family. Yes, life is full of inner and outer spite. Truly love whoever you are, but don't be hazily unhappy. Remember that empty loneliness is a great teacher. Whenever you plant a tiny seed, be there to make it stronger and never weaker. Do whatever to proceed to make him or her succeed. Thank you, and I got one more. This is called Lyrical Butterflies. Do, 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 do. Oh, music, what can I say about you? Make me happier than a fish swimming in deep blue. Music is harmony to all our ears. It exterminate our darkest fears and leave us in delightful tears. Music can send fire to our hearts or a big warm hug. It can kill the inner traumas or the toxic bugs. Music gives us a safe space. It gives us a vibrant room to elevate, concentrate, and meditate with extra grace. Music gives us nostalgia in a more surreal time. It reminds us we're aligned in our physical and mental prime. Music can raise oceans, destroy mountains, and set off volcanoes. Hard to believe just from listening to a few notes. Music can make you move and groove a billion times. It's deep in our roots, kind of like these rhymes. Music gives a moment to express yourself in this ugly yet beautiful world. It can inspire and teach any little boy or girl. Music is art in its own unique and luminous form to break out of our boring dorms. It can be a radiant sun or a chaotic storm, but listen, in order to transform, music is the air we breathe and the food we eat. It's the senses that freeze our bodies and burn our feet. Music is a performance that's happening inside our minds. Actually, it's like poetry. You can feel the energy going up our spines. Music is, wait, let me simply tell you, but put on your headphones or earbuds and to submerge in the musical blue. Let the notes go through and around you in order to get lost in your whimsical cocoon. Thank you.
Yo, yo, if music be the food of love, then play on, player.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Don't
Ed,
apologize, my man.
what you got? So, what you have going on that you'd like to promote, man, or how can people find you online?
You can promote this wonderful mic that makes our money night such a delight in every moonlight or spotlight. Woo, Richie. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook name is Eddie Foreman and my IG is EddieForeman92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to speak my fantastic insight. If you send me a request, you take a guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay positive, safe, and blessed, and never stop speaking and singing the wonderful words inside your chest, and never stop being and looking and doing your best.
Awesome, man. You got like shoving a bunch of motivation in the couple of lines there. I love it. And as always, thank you for your set, the humor, and of course your poetry. All right, yes, check out Ed Foreman, the fireman. Let's go ahead and continue. Now we're kind of winding down on the list. We got some peeps, so I know Tanish will give you some time if you still need to get ready. So for now, we're gonna go to Malaysia and welcome back to the mic, Julian Matthews. Julian, what's going on? Are you here with us? Let me see. There you are. What's going on? Hey, what's going on?
Hi. So thanks for having me. I wish to apologize to Robin Schofield and Kit Wren and the Tumblebirds Project for whatever I may have posted that was offensive. I've since removed it, and so I'm about to share something else. Thank you. I hope you can accept my apology. So I've been doing a series of poems about everyday things. I think y'all have heard the rotating fan and the vacuum cleaner, but it was a way to get away from all the death and grief, but it seems like I keep turning to that again and again. So this is entitled Black Shirt. I probably bought it decades ago as formal wear for functions and night events. When matched with a black shirt, it didn't require the constriction with a black jacket. It didn't require the constriction of a tie. They added that the vertical white stripes would make me look thinner in old age. But today I lifted off the rack with weighted heaviness. Again, I put it on, look heavenward and sigh like lowering a flag to half-mast. Time's unforgiving arc eventually bends toward more funerals than weddings. Amid the pandemic, the informality on Zoom didn't require its service, so it hung in the wardrobe, patiently waiting like a mother waits a wayward son to come home. Like a mother ready to clothe you in her warm embrace, yet button you up in her grace. Like a mother ever ready to shoulder your every despair, yet straighten your collar of its tardiness, and tuck in self-control in your pants. Like a mother sneakily slipping you in sleeves of spirituality and filling a pocket of gratitude just over your heart. I check myself in the mirror, and under the light I see that the shirt has faded. Its midnight matte has given in to a shade of pale, almost ashen gray. At the funeral, I note the traditional black at these memorials is no longer a must these days, or perhaps some people just didn't get the memo. Or maybe I too should look with renewed eyes at death and blackness as being mutually exclusive, that all these endings can be bright new beginnings, that I should just stop picking at the stitches of this grief and not let the sadness crease the remaining fading fabric of our lives. Or maybe I should just go out and buy a new shirt. Thank you. That's it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, grief is a monstrous mystery we struggle to understand, even the slightest. Thank you for that, and hopefully, as we said, cooler heads prevail. Thank you for those words, Julian. Do you and of course, if people want to find you online, they could just look you up, Julian Matthews. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so man, you guys are coming with some heavy stuff here. Alrighty then. Let me go ahead and see. Is Tanish with us? You here? In San Fran. Okay. I'm looking for the unmute button to check it out. Tanish. All right. In that case, let's go ahead. We will bring up Teso Somok, who does so much. He's been doing a lot of writing again in these online spaces. You just saw it with Julian's presentation, and again, I'm really digging that very like clean, minimalistic presentation. It's pretty cool. And then of course with Tez, we've seen like scripts, which is pretty cool. And of course he's doing his AI imagery, so it's really cool. And of course all the episodic serialized performances are a lot of fun as well to have. So let's go ahead and Tez, if you want to go and take it away. I hear you. I hear your audio. Go and take it away. Yeah.
You hear me raging already? I'm gonna share the screens. I think people have been enjoying reading off the page. Probably is better. Does that work?
Yes, sir.
You see the...
Is that your resume? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right, we ready? So this piece was actually thanks to Mr. Sindler. Hopefully he hasn't gotten off the list here. I don't see him. Is he still on here? He may have bailed out. Oh, there he is. So this was a prompt that was inspired by one of his many postings. So this was the Frank Zappa discussion. So I want to give credit where credit is due. So thank you, Mr. Sindler. So Frank knew in 1985. Now obviously the video, just for correction, was in 1986, so we're assuming he knew in 1985. And 1985 is when I graduated from high school, so that's why I kind of posited that way. It begins with an epigram. When you have a government that prefers a certain moral code derived from a certain religion, and that moral code turns into legislation to suit one certain religious point of view, and if that code happens to be very, very right-wing, almost Attila the Hun, and that's that kind of basically summarizes his analysis in that time, which is exactly where we are 52, 53 years later, whatever, 30 years later. Frank knew in 1985, it's a hard thing to imagine such foresight, whether prophetic, speculative, or pure coincidence. We were barely coming out of the 70s OPEC embargoes and the long gas lines. Surveillance became the American wound, and eventually internalized self-surveillance became the moniker for the 70s. the first hint of peak oil, peak union labor, and peak white power. It was the death knell of the 20th century American dream. We just didn't know it for another decade. It was the onset of postmodern narco identity, the stoner who with designer van shoes, skunky BO, and feathered shaggy hairstyles, bar-seated cheerleaders, preppy girls clubs, with early onset of yeast production from synthetic and extremely tight Jordache jeans, leading to inner thigh burning blisters. Young women jeopardizing their future fertility from burning, itching, and unwanted discharges, trapped from moisture blocked by overly tight undergarments. Cholas with way too much eyeliner from dilapidatory tweezers and Aquanet, holding up their wings, trying to attract sanganos with its phthalates that include male reproductive, which induce male reproductive dysfunction. The skaters with their postmodern Orientalism, with trademark Opie shirts, what the cholos call otro puto shirts, with nostalgic reconstructions of surfing imperialism. Fabric stoner wallets with first seen Velcro locks, screen printed with reciprocal casual scenes of Hawaiian surfing culture, the uneven, paradoxical, interconnected, mutually implicated cultural transactions. At that time, in the mid-'80s, labeled the sign of the times, it was the age of Ronald Reagan. The temporal neatness, 1980 to 1989, Reagan became the embodiment of post-war America. He is just as simple and just as mysterious as our collective dreams and memories. Gary Willis. We hear that a lot today in the news, obviously. Oh, he's just so mysterious, so simple. Reagan would become the geometrical gimmick representing demand and desire, the Mobius strip metaphor of relation between subject and speech, the cross-cap structure of fantasy, restored American identity reaffirmed. I didn't hear Frank Zappa on the mainstream radio station. He was too controversial to be aired and didn't play well with the record companies. His musical talents were labeled by Columbia Records as having, quote, no commercial potential. The first time I heard him was on Dr. Demento's Sunday night show that was syndicated from 1978 to 1992, fitting well with the decade also. Barry Hanson Eugene, better known as Dr. Demento on KMET 94.7 FM Sunday night, competing with Joe Benson on KLOS 95.5 FM with his Seventh Day. The 7 classic albums in their entirety. But it was a hard sell against Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Nanook, Watch Out Where the Huskies Go, and closing with St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast. It would be these types of novelty lyrics that Dr. Demento would play on his show, and the same ones that would haunt him with the PMRC. That was the parent, those are those parents who were objecting to lyrics on records. It was the era of advanced placements, AP classes, pre-SATs, LSATs, and MCATs. We were still dreaming of an affordable college education. It was the peak of boomer wealth, where those in their 30s own 21.3% of the nation's wealth. Today, millennials, Gen Xers, Gen Zers, and own less than 5% of the nation's wealth. Grover Norquist's famous, "I'm not in favor of abolishing the government. I just wanted to shrink it down to the size where you can drown it in a bathtub," planted the forthcoming attempt at ending American flavored democracy. This 42-year-old long process with Reagan's massive tax cuts amplified by trillions more for the morbidly rich from the George W. Bush and Donald Trump administration has produced a 50 trillion transfer of wealth from middle class to the top 1%. Leading them to try to end the 240-year democratic self-governance and have actively embraced neo-fascist autocracies, openly trying to emulate the right-wing strongman governments that had taken over Russia and Hungary, very much contrary to Reagan's original hard line against similar Eastern European government mentalities. From this, Tom Hartman would later apologize to the Americans for failing to stop Ronald Reagan. And so compare, 50 trillion to, is it like 10,000? I mean, it's like, no, it's like you can't cry. I mean, it's just the proportion is so way lost on people. And I think that's something we have to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's a great piece, Matt. And your illustrations are just fantastic too. You're just doing great art these days. Just absolutely fantastic all the way around.
Thank you, Mr. Sindler. Thank you for the original seed of doubt and getting that started. I was gonna do Bobby Brown, but I think the lyrics are way too offensive, and Kit may kick me out of here. So I think I'm gonna have to do something else. That was Bobby Brown from Frank Zappa, obviously. So, I'm gonna do something more friendly. River wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend. Moon River and me, Moon River wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows end, around the bend, my huckleberry friend. Moon River and me.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I guess it's a little bit different than ruining Bobby Brown for a kid.
Oh no, that was nice.
So considerate.
You can
All right.
ruin something for kid next week.
Oh, so on this piece, Richie. So I finished it and I sent it off, and it got accepted to Syncopation Lit Journal for their issue number 3 of volume 2. So that was like super fast acceptance on that one. So I'm really happy about that. Thank you. And the artwork will get accepted. Some of the artwork will get printed with it.
Oh, right on. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And so people tuning in, definitely there's a couple spaces where they can find your work online. I know you post videos.
Folks can catch me on Instagram under Gashless2019. Also under Facebook under Pandemic Poets, and then I'll post the rest of the stuff on the chat.
Right on. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely check out Pandemic Poets on Facebook. I think you have to ask to be approved to the group, but you know, if you're recognized, then come on through, promote your stuff as well, and then check out a lot of the other online stuff going on that were kind of created out of the pandemic and still continue, because it's just kind of nice to have. Alrighty then. So, well, one more time, I just want to check in on Tanish, see if you're back to your computer. If not, that's fine as well. No pressure. Alrighty then. In that case, I'm going to share one more piece, and then we'll bring up our closer and see if you make it back. This is from a collection of poems from Jonathan Montgomery. It's called Taxis and Shit. This one's called The Silent Gondoliers. The Silent Gondoliers. It's a book by William Goldman about how the gondoliers of Venice used to be the best singers in the world, until this dude Luigi comes along, who's a terrible singer but a great boatman, and he saves them all from a fire, and in a tribute, everyone starts singing badly, and then not at all. But I see myself as one of those mythic gondoliers of old, entertaining the passengers with my voice as part of the service. People aren't expecting it. They'll hear me humming softly along to some song and say, "Hey, you have a nice voice. You could sing a little louder if you want." And then, to their surprise and delight, I'll belt it out, nailing the song, and they'll be compelled to sing along too, and leave a big tip, and sometimes say, "That was the most fun I've ever had in a cab." No offense to this Luigi, but I've got to sing while I work, or else I would just be a regular driver, and that wouldn't be fun for anyone. So that's Taxis and Shit, Jonathan Montgomery. And I'm going to read one more piece before we bring up Den. I don't know if I've read from this before, but this is a chapbook from my friend Kirsten Radke, good friend of mine. We hosted her chapbook release at our open mic at Black Orchid Lounge, which was a place of legends. We had some really great times there, especially I think for poetry. So this is her title poem, Pangea. I am Pangea, or at least I once was, till my tectonic plates made their escape. You see, before you came and stuck your flag in me, before you were savage and my body fed you, there were ice ages, climate changes, overflowing ocean phases, moonlit by night, volcanic ash by day, sun sprawling over these breasts of Everest. There was a hole, not the compartmentalizations of, she's just a pretty face. She's crazy. She's too clingy. She's a tease. Oh wait, she's a good fuck. She's innocent, let her be. She's old news now. She's desperate for attention. She wouldn't know love if it hit her in the face, smacked her around a few times, and words uttered, "This is love, can't you tell?" She's just a girl. I used to love her. You see, before you went and thought you discovered land and called all your friends with the exciting news, these legs, these lips have roamed more times than you can count. So before you write me off and try to claim me, and even though my parts have since drifted, understand I once and will continue to be even after you decide to leave. So that's Pangea from my really good friend Kirsten. Yeah, these are rare. She wrote a really nice note here in the back. But it's always nice to share friends' work when I have a chance. So, without further ado, let us go ahead and bring up our closer for the night. Let us hear it for Dan the Man. Go and take it away, Dan. What if I just froze like that? Dan the
Very funny, Richie.
Man.
I do apologize for the delay earlier. Just trying to log in, and I don't know what the hell just happened. Oh well. Julia Matthews. Apology accepted, man. I'm sure it's a simple mistake, so don't worry about it. And where's that person who was supposed to be up before Mr. Tezozomo or before Julian? Who was that? Who was that person? What? Never mind. Okay. Heads up. I'm about one last step on the blog. I just need to save it, but it's gonna take a while to save. I'm gonna need until tomorrow. I'm hoping to get it done. So I do apologize for the long delay. But rest assured, some of you guys are mentioned on this. Okay. So you guys are gonna like this one, the long list of shout outs. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do two of Swan's poetry. I'm gonna do poetry and prose by Mary Oliver Swan. Okay, I'm gonna do two of them real quick, and all right, let's see here, and let's hope for the other one who's away from the computer. Let's see if he can get this one. Okay, poetry. Here's No Voyage and Other Poems. Give me a minute. Page. Okay, I'm sorry, not that one. No, sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do the first quick one. Okay, here it is. What can I say? Page 1. Hold on. What can I say that I have not said before? So I'll say it again. The leaf has a song in it. Stone is the face of patience. Inside the river, there is an unfinishable story, and you are somewhere in it, and it will never end until all ends. Take your busy heart to the art museum and the Chamber of Commerce, but take it almost to the forest, the song you heard singing in the leaf when you were a child, and is still singing, is stinging still. And I am of years lived so far 74, and the leaf is still singing. And quote, what can I say? Page 1. Let me check the other two. Okay, on time, page 2. Don't even ask how rapidly the hummingbird lived his life. You can't imagine a thousand flowers a day, a little sleep, then the same again, then he vanished. I adore him. Yet I adore also the drowse of mountain. And in the human world, what is time? In my mind, there is Rumi dancing, there is Lipo drinking from the winter stream, there is Hafiz strolling through Shari's, his feet loving the dust. Yeah, that's on time, page 2. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. Oh, this is okay. This is shortly. Okay, this is short. How perfectly, page 4. How perfectly and neatly open the pink rose this bright morning. The sun warms on my shoulders. Its heat on the opening petals. Possibly it is the smallest, the least important event at this moment in the whole world, yet I stand there, the utterly happy. Yeah, how perfectly, page 4. 3 poems, Mary, 3 poems, Swans, once again by Mary Oliver. Okay, and this is what I want to do. I want to cover Congress Fires, or Denise Signs, or Patty Orozco, or what about did Robin Schofield wrote a poetry book? She did.
I have 3 books.
She's won an award for her books.
I have 3 books.
Oh, okay.
And another one on the way.
Remind me to buy one ASAP. Yeah, and especially Donna Snyder. I need to cover that one. I want to do that because and especially Miss Jurtson as well. Yeah, because this is what I would like to do a little later in weeks to come, or maybe months to come. I like to read and share the covers from my dear fellow collaborators and poets. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So, okay. Again, I'm almost done. I apologize for the long delay because I had a 24 to 48 hour delay because I was in Dallas with my brother. He finally secured an apartment and he's expected to move, I think, sometime next week. I will keep you posted, but I'll be on Labor Day for the open mic next Monday. So I'll keep you posted on the departure. So, okay. All right. Okay. All right, here it is. We didn't weep it. I'm behind posts on Twitter and Facebook, which I already mentioned that on my 8-year anniversary. So they'll get the picture. Okay, so then I'm catching up on Instagram, so don't worry about that. But find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I guess you already know. All right, you guys. Okay. We're still waiting for the other one, right? But no word on him yet.
Her/them and no.
Okay. If he's not here, then I guess I'll see you guys next
You can just pass it back to me, Dan.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Richie. If that person's not here yet, just go ahead and call it a night.
All right. Thank you, Dan, as always, for that. Cool. Yeah. It has been a night. Are we calling it? It's quite possible. The music might signal the end of the show. Shout out. We do want to give some love to Tanish. Awesome poet, awesome writer. You know, sometimes you got things that happen or take a nap. I've done that before on one of these streams, you know, and I'm the host. No, I've never done that while hosting, but in the after party, I'm like, I'm just going to sit back and listen to everyone, and I dozed off because I usually try and say goodbye to everyone. So, thank you to everyone who tuned in, everyone who signed up to perform, and everyone who just came to hang out. Shout out to Nick Paleologos, who just hung out with us. Check out his stuff, The Real Nick P. He hosts some awesome shows worth checking out. And who else was in here tonight that I just want to give a shout out to? Christine is in the house. Shout out to Christine Ponce Diaz. I think I saw Patty for a little bit check in, maybe for the briefest of moments. And of course, everyone watching on YouTube. You guys are awesome. We're happy to have you guys here. We'll be back next Monday. September is going to be very busy, so let's just keep doing our thing. It's great to see you guys for the Stay at Home Open Mic. My name is Rich, and we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy